me tell you a story about how members of parliament now are saying our support for the finance bill has cost us heavily, they confess.
Oh, really?
I'm telling you. A number of MPs whose property was destroyed by protesters on Tuesday as they vented against the Finance Bill 2024 say they have left the attackers to God, even as they continue counting losses amounting to millions of shillings. The protesters who invaded razed down buildings and carried away the property, including belonging to MPs Kimani Kuria and Molo, who is also the Finance and National Planning at the National Assembly, Njoroge Wainaina, Kieni, Mushangi Karemba, Mbere South, and Oscar Sudi Kapseret, amongst others. The Kieni MP, who operates a chain of supermarkets in Mount Kenya region, told The Standard that his business premise in Nyeri town, which was razed down during the protest, had employed over 350 employees. He added that he had lost a movable stock of 450 million shillings and additional equipment such as bakery shelves, among others, valued at 100 million. He says, and I quote, the scrap metal dealers are now scavenging for the metal stands that remained after the inferno, even as the employees had been left jobless. He added that he added that he had paid the ultimate political price on behalf of many other Kenyans for the sake of development. You understand? Wainaina said even after the vandalism and fire that gutted down his property, he did not regret voting for the finance bill. Something tells me he shouldn't have said that out loud, but okay. He said he did it for the sake of the people of Kieni, not Kenya, Kieni.
And the people who burnt down his
place are not from Timbuktu. No, they are not. So, he said, I voted in support of the bill because the people of Kenya stood to benefit from the bill. Being an agricultural zone where our people farm onions, potatoes, eggs, and milk will all enjoy all the way to the bank because the competition from outside the country would have been reduced with the passage of the bill. He, however, claimed the looting was not done by the youth, but a bunch of criminals, and asked the authorities, I don't know if it's now Haji again, to apprehend the suspects. Now, Sudi, whose Timber XO club in Eldoret was vandalized and looted, condemned the move and said he has never thought of destroying on anyone else's property, even as he claimed that politicians from the Rift Valley region planned the vandalism. Sacre bleu. I have never in my life planned to destroy anyone's property, he said. My work has always been helping people who don't have parents, building churches and other things. We know people who organized it, and the leaders, they're from where? Home. At the same time, he suspended all planned activities, including charity events and fundraising, until further notice.
And they were sitting there now behind the president yesterday,
smiling,
clapping. As in, these guys had on the previous day just taken a record 30 minutes, was it? Or so?
In under an hour
to pass that bill. Yes, put the question.
Put the question. Mr. Speaker, sir, put it. Read faster.
And now yesterday they're sitting there behind the president, and when he says we have agreed that we're going to withdraw,
clapping.
We are going to also cut back on expenditure for starting with the exam. They're sitting there. When you look at them, don't you see where the problem? Could you just see where our problem is?
The problem was sitting behind the president.
Have you? The word déjà vu, what does it mean?
Déjà vu means already seen. Deja.
Okay. 1997. Kasarani.
Yeah.
Multipartism. Okay.
91.
Huh?
91 or 90?
No, 97.
97.
KANU, thingy-majig meeting, everybody red cap, red sweaters, blah, 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 blah. Speaker after speaker.
90.
Huh? I said 90.
In 97, we already had multi-party.
92.
Yes.
If I had 5 years, just 5.
After all.
I did not add 10.
Just give
it 5. Sure.
Yes.
Can I not move it forward? Okay.
90. Section 2A.
It was 90.
Yes.
Now, you see, I only added 7.
So tuendelee. Okay. Everybody in Kasarani.
Yes. See? Eric understands these things. You must add. Now, speaker after speaker after speaker. What? We cannot. KANU Baba na Mama. Even uncle and auntie. What?
One party.
One party, Kenya together. We're behind you, President. Only live forever. Blah, 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 blah. Then the president stands up. Says, I've heard all of you. Thank you very much. And all the speakers were clapped for. The way I've seen it, it is good that we allow for multipartism. 3 second silence. Then rapturous clapping. What? In fact, this is what we were saying.
This is what we've been trying to say. When we said there should be one party, what we were trying to say is that actually it is multipartism that we want.
Yes, that multipartism is one multipartism, so that there are many right. So this isn't new.
This is not new. For something that you believed in so wholeheartedly, really, that we had a lot of political innuendo that was thrown at this thing day after day after day. I can't take anything away from Majority Leader Kimani Ichung'wah, because and you have to give it to journalists as well, because the camera was right on his face when the president said this thing, and he looked as though he had eaten a sour pickle, because it was almost as though I have been saying these things for the last 2 weeks, and in a 5-minute speech, the whole thing has fallen to the ground. How are you going to be able? You have to ask these guys how they're feeling.
Let me tell you how
they're going to be able to go back to their people tomorrow.
They will twist it by saying it was a party position. Okay? At the point we were making the decision, it was a party position. And as the leader of majority party coalition in the National Assembly, my job is to rally people towards the common position taken collectively by a group. As the whip, my job is to whip the members collectively
on the party position.
Now,
should the position change?
We all whip and move to that. But this is a result of conversations. Remember what Aaron Cheriot was telling us? I wish you would attended one of our PG meetings and hear
how
people
we
actually
really
stand up and they speak. And, we speak and debate and argue, and then we arrive at a position. Okay?
Okay.
They have got egg on their faces.
Boss.
Complete
the whole
egg.
poultry.
The story, Nation has a story here inside State House, night meetings that informed rejection of the finance bill. And the Nation is basically talking about meetings took place after Tuesday night. And the president said, okay, give me scenarios. How is it likely to play out, this thing? And there are those people who are hardliners, from the Economic Council to members of cabinet to his advisors, who are like, Mr. President, these guys are trying to question your authority.
To railroad you.
Don't allow.
Mugu kwa shingo.
Don't budge. And if they squeak, like a pressure.
Yes. Add onto it. And then there were those moderates who were saying, okay, maybe you should find a way of just giving some concessions. The Nation also says that they have reliably established that the National Intelligence Service advised the president before and after the Tuesday protests to re-examine the finance bill and find ways of accommodating public concerns, even if it meant temporarily suspending the process. This was NIS advice. The advice from NIS, however, did not find favor with hardliners within the cabinet and senior members of his security and economic advisors. The president is truly in the horns of a dilemma, and consultations are still ongoing. With the voices of reason prevailing, there is hope that he'll take a position that moves the country away from the path of the chaos, death and destruction witnessed on Tuesday, according to sources. A section of MPs had also separately reached out to the president, saying that they had already staked too much political capital for the government to retreat from pushing through the bill. They were like, my friend, if you retreat now, tutaambia nini watu? We have already voted this thing, yes. No.
And we've even given reasons in different places.
Please do not. Intelligence shared with the president indicated that the violent protesters, separate from the Gen Zs, had been ferried in buses by politicians keen on introducing an ethnic angle to the chaos.
Oh, Nation are saying it.
Yep. According to sources who requested anonymity to speak freely, the president also received calls on Tuesday and yesterday from diplomatic representatives of powerful Western nations and Gulf states, urging him to retreat from the hardline position and pursue a more conciliatory path. In their public statements, the embassies and high commissions of the United Kingdom, Belgium, Canada, Denmark, Finland, Germany, Ireland, Netherlands, Norway, Estonia, Sweden, Romania, and the USA urged all actors have the responsibility to respect, uphold, promote, and fulfill the principles of democracy and the rule of law, particularly by ensuring a proportionate security response. We welcome civic engagement by all Kenyans, in particular the youth, in addressing the issues of vital public concern, and call for restraint on all sides and encourage all leaders to find peaceful solutions. This is what the diplomatic corps had told the president. So there was a lot of info from all sides. The one that prevailed is the one that saw the president come out and say, "This is pie. It is humble. Look at me. I am swallowing it." Umeona, I have swallowed. So this humble pie is in the stomach.
You know, the thing that for the last 4 years you've harped on, Eric, is it really possible for those in leadership, political leadership, to actually take a truth pill, meaning swallow it and just try and speak the truth and just say, folks, we messed up here, we are sorry. Okay? Can we go back to the drawing board and start all this thing all over again? Not whitewashing, not window dressing it. We made a mistake.
I have a question.
Yes, please.
When you eat a humble pie, does it matter whether you want to or not, so long as you've eaten it? And will it then, with the dislike or like of eating this humble pie, will it then affect the manner in which you will do things moving forward? Because this decision to eat this humble pie was not arrived at on your own volition.
He was done like this.
The way babies are open the mouth and they pour the porridge into it.
No, not only that, they also hold the nose.
And then they hold the nose so that
you have no option. You breathe through your mouth. You breathe in. The thing is in.
Then they beat your back so that the porridge can go down. So
then you see the surprised look on the child's face.
But as the child is trying to be surprised, guess what?
Food is in the stomach.
So as you're moving now forward, you're just walking, you're angry, but your stomach is full.
Yes. You can even cry if you want.
So you're asking how you behave thereafter.
Exactly. So you were forced, you're angry, but you were forced because you must to eat. What you do later, does it matter how you swallowed? No. Or you've just said, okay, I've swallowed, let's move forward.
What we see and what we are seeing now is the foundation on which the current crop of political leaders have based their leadership, or what they call their leadership. Are they really for the people, or are they for getting the people to believe that they are for them? Because when someone sincerely understands and is repentant, do you see that? No. If I read from what I'm reading from the Deputy President, you are throwing NIS under the bus.
Yes, no.
Now, how long have these matters been going on? How long have people been talking about this? So long as the can is being kicked down the road, ni wale wale.
It's going to come back, I'm telling you. This is what I'm trying to say.
Wale wale.
It's going to rear its head. It's going to come back. If you are who you are, okay?
You think he'll remind us, by the way? Mlinifanya nimeza ile kitu.
Boss.
I think he will.
If you are who you are.
I think there's an opportunity for that. But you see, what then is lost in that conversation is what leadership in this country is meant to do. Why we vote for leaders, it's completely lost. Because now we're into a conversation where it's leaders against the citizenry.
Yeah.
The people who actually elected you.
And it should not be.
No, it shouldn't be.
Shouldn't be.
What I like about what we have witnessed so far is that it's outside of the established political, order. Okay. Yes. So, for instance, who remembers that opposition leaders keep calling press conferences to add their voice to this man? For example, today they are on page 10 of the Nation. Are they anywhere on the Standard? Opposition leaders condemn Ruto over Tuesday bloodbath, and there's like a photo there of politicians from Azimio addressing journalists, and so their voice is just one of those voices. So who else has spoken? Okay, just add them. Who else has spoken? Add them. The main drivers of a conversation are different.
Completely.
You got to give it to Nairobi
Completely
Senator, though,
different.
and I know time's going, but I have to say it. You have to give it to him. He stood in between two policemen, one who was ready to shoot, and he said, "We don't have to do this."
Who's this?
Nairobi Senator Edwin Sifuna. It was a warrior on that day, I have to say, and some good pictures. But you could see that he was like, we don't have to do this. Stood in the face of the bullet, essentially. Yeah.
This is the Situation Room, the only way to start your day.